Good morning, everyone. We are the project formerly known as Movie Time, but that name was a bit lackluster, so we decided to change it up for the final presentation. And we are now known as Movies, or Movies, however you want to pronounce it. Yeah. To start off, the entire team is here. Awesome. Marcus, Lynn, Eric, me, Maria, Jonathan, and Kiki. And we are 7 media technology students from KT, all of us. So that's the team. And I think the first thing we want to talk about is a slide clarification. Because after the Hello World presentation, there were a bit of confusions. So we want to clear them up. For example, the team itself was a bit confused. We didn't really know where we were going ourselves. We had different visions, and we really didn't have a track to go on. So after that presentation, we decided on one. And that is, we are creating an experience. This is not supposed to be an optimal solution. It's not about having a parallel coordinate system to find the movie with X, Y, and Z conditions filmed. It's about exploring and finding movies in a new and exciting way. So that is what we have created now. So, what was our main challenge, and how did we actually tackle it? Well, first off, where do we retrieve the data and where to store it? Because the data was scattered all across the internet. IMDb has all the information, but it doesn't have an open API. However, there are several other open APIs which we have used. So we have taken bits and chunks of this one, and a little bit of this one, and so on. And then we created our own database and stored it there instead. And from that information, which should we display? There's, as we said, a lot of information about movies. There's studios, actors, etc., etc., and which information is actually important to show. So we had brainstorming sessions, all of us, talking to display actors, to display movie names. Yeah, that's pretty obvious, and so on. And you will see where we landed in the end, but that is the process of it. And which axis do we use? Mario stood here pondering. We have 3 axes. Which do we use? We actually narrowed it down to 2 axes, and we decided to have genres on one and time on the other. So that is the result of that challenge. Go on. So, which technology do we use? It's a big project, so we had to use a lot. We use Node, HTML, CSS, HTML, we use the free.js, PHP, and it says API, but of course that is a very loose term. We actually use 7, I think, 6 or 7 different APIs, some with movie information, some with movie soundtracks, and so on. So a plethora of APIs were used in the project. Right, so about more specifically, who is the user? And that is what we were trying to create an experience for. Because as we read in one of the texts during the course, most information visualization what's it called?
Are adapted to.
Are adapted to experts. They're created by experts for experts. But that's not what we want to do. We wanted to create something for everyone. Not depending on how much previous experience you have. So we wanted people who want to find new and exciting ways to explore movies. Artsy, explorative people. Put it in a loose term. So what are the tasks for our system? First off, as we have previously said, it's to discover movies in new and exciting fashion. That is basically it. It's discovering movies. It's not discovering the best adapted movie for your specific needs. You can do that as well, but that's not the main part, objective of our system. Our objective is to explore. Yeah. So, here is a print screen, and what are the visual mappings and the structure? First off, we have these beautiful birds, and they represent that, first off, the trees are movies, which you might have understood after Hello World. Every single tree is a movie from our database. For this demo, we have 200 movies in our system. And the trees with a bird above it represents that you can go up to it and listen to its soundtrack. Because that's soundtrack is something that really shows the feeling of a movie. Take, for example, The Departed. How many have seen it? Most of you. It's a very action-filled movie, and the soundtrack is a, what's the band called? Shipping Off to Boston by Dropkick Murphys. So it's a very, you really get the feeling of the movie just by that soundtrack. Also, the height and the girth of the tree stand represents the amount of people who have voted on it. And that's basically a representation of the engagement with the movie. Because some movies might have a huge rating, but only 4 or 5 people have actually voted on it. Other movies have 700,000 people plus, but not as big of a rating, because maybe it's a controversial movie, but it's a movie that has created engagement in a sense. Thirdly, the size of the tree crown, that corresponds to the IMDb rating. So the bigger the crown, the better the rating. And that is weighed to each other. So in this, I think, we don't have, as I said, we have 200 movies. So the smallest crowns might be like 6.5 rating, because that is where the weight starts, and up towards 10 is the biggest ones. And last off, as I said, the 2 axes. The positions of the tree is, x-axis is the year it was created. I think the first movie I have is 1945 or something. 21 even, and the last movie is 2016. So that is the span of the x-axis. And then on the y-axis we have the genres. 3 minutes. Alright, so the span of the genres. And we clustered them together, and we decided on the main genre of the movie to cluster them by. Next. So you can filter, you can search for a string, for example, a movie name, a genre, or anything. You have 2 sliders. One is the rating, and one is the year. You can get details on demand, of course. When you go up the tree, you can see information about it. Title, rating, genre, actors, and information. And last up, we have the Find Similar Movies transformation, which is basically you go up the movie, you hit space, and then you get 10 movies, which are the most relevant movies to it, which is filtered by actors, genre, and year. Yeah. So that's a quick demo. You click on it.
Technology. So yeah, do you want to speak?
Right, so here is the overlay. This is the landing page you land on. You get some, you have 4 buttons. 2 are just, you move with your WASD and your mouse. You get information about what can be displayed, and you have the filter function as well. And down in the right corner, you can turn off sound as well. Yeah, take it away. Here's the visualization. Well, you can see which movies have birds above them, which, as I said, represents that they have a soundtrack. So you can go up the movie with a soundtrack. And the color of the tree crown is represented by the pixel values in the poster, so that also represents a field. And something that we didn't know we were going to find, but we actually found, was that older movies, they have very pastelish colors in the posters. It's a lot of pink, a lot of light yellow, and so on. But newer movies, they're all very, very dark, which is quite hilarious to think about it, because the closer to now in time, the darker the movies get. Overall,
the posters.
But the movie posters represent the movies. Oh yeah. So we have literally created a tree structure. Yeah. Any additions?
We have also the minimap, which is the overview over the entire forest. So if you can see in the minimap which trees are the biggest by looking at the tree crowns. And so if you want to find the movies with the highest rating, it's really easy because you see in the up soon. Or it's filtered by. So you will always know where you are, and as you see, here is increasing. So you can walk through history and walk through genres as well.
Thank you. Remember, you can send comments as a reply through the Facebook wall. But right now we have 5 minutes for live comments, and it includes feedback. It includes, and perhaps we need to get away from the tree so that we don't get the soundtracks. It includes feedback, it includes questions. Go ahead.
So, what do you do with the multiple genres on a movie? Where do you place it in the...
Yeah, we created our own algorithm sort of for that. Basically, we created a hierarchy for the genres, where we felt that some genres are more representative of what the actual movie is. For example, if it has horror in it, it's most likely a horror movie. If it has adventure in it, it's most likely an adventure movie. So we created that hierarchy with, on top we had animated, because that's kind of binary, either it's animated or it's real. Going down to horror, sci-fi, adventure, and then in the end we had the more loose terms such as action, drama, and so on.
The tree crowns, they're like different shapes. Did you randomize how they grow, or is it depending on something?
It's dependent on the IMDb rating. So the higher the rating, the bigger the crowns and the more balls they have, or spears.
The height of the landscape, does that influence the rating stuff? So if I would level everything, would they all stay at the same height they are right now, or would they follow ground down? Do you understand?
They will follow the ground down.
Follow the
Yeah,
ground
yeah.
down. So if you want a flat forest with no bumps or whatever, right?
If I walk up to a tree and sort of want to know what movie it is, how would I go about doing that?
How do you mean?
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry, you have a tooltip down the left.
Right.
It's a tooltip which says the release year, the name, rating, and so on. So you have the tooltip in the bottom left corner.
Okay.
I think just it's not a problem, but just switching on the music automatically, it's not usually good, because if usually in webs you never should turn on the music without any express demand for the user. Maybe you can just maybe you can switch it on, but maybe you can mark some kind of area when the user enters that area, because now the user don't exactly know when it will start. Maybe you can switch it on automatically, but just show when it will happen, like, or something like that.
Good suggestion.
Question?
Does it have fixed data sets, or can it update?
Right now it's a fixed data set.
Can you update?
Yeah, we have a forum, so you can search for, I don't know, Batman. We already done Batman, but
Yes.
for example, Superman, then it will look through all our APIs, get all the information about all movies with Superman in them, and then filter them. We have the movies must be either 7 or higher rating and at least 10,000 votes, or just about 15,000 votes. So we could just add the one that fulfill that. But the database will gradually grow, and the world scales depending on the amount.
We have time for one more question. In that case, I'll go. I have 3 minutes. I'll try to be quicker than that. So you've tried to remain sort of artistic and engaging, but in order to do that, I feel that the graphics need to be better.
Turn on the lights. This is Marcus' favorite version. We have one with lights as well.
All right, so there's another version. So right now the graphics are sort of flat. So if you want to invite people to explore your visualization, I believe you need more special effects. You need better lighting. I see that you have fog and some level of 3D, but it's very faceted. So you need to do better illumination of the trees, and you need to have more textures and richer environments to accomplish that goal of not being a utilitarian site, but more of a, come and relax and enjoy it and have an aesthetic, pleasing experience. I think you need better graphics. So you guys got into a tough project when you chose that route, because we have so many libraries to be productive and utilitarian and find correlations and stuff like that. Those are the tools that we explored here. We didn't explore things like WebGL and 3JS, so that you were on your own there. What tools did you use for the 3D graphics online? 3JS, okay. You can push it further. So that's my recommendation. You have a few days before you submit it to the C Awards. I think you should push it further, but it's up to you at this point. All right. For submitting at the C Awards, it's pass-fail, of course. So you don't get credit for winning, but you do get the pass for submitting. But if you want to win, I think you need to push the graphics, and it really depends on how much time you have to do that. The map, I appreciate the map, but it is overlaid on top of the visualization itself, so it's sort of a little rough right now. So perhaps you need to find something better there. The shadows, for example, and lighting conditions, and weather, and some atmospheric effects. I mean, there's so many things that you could add to this, but it becomes a graphics project and not a visualization project. So be careful with that as well. What is the main thing you learned?
3JS.
Yeah.
3JS.
But also that it's hard to pick out the data that is most relevant for the user, because we could have visualized runtime for the movies, but
Right.
we wouldn't have given anything to the user. So I think also choosing what's information that should be visualized and which information we should just throw away.
Right.
And also to coordinate with 7 people in one project.
That's tough, I know. When you have the tooltip and the name of the movie comes up and a little bit of text of the movie comes up, perhaps you want to bring up the poster as well on the tooltip. Any other comments before we move on to the next group? Okay, then we're right on schedule. Thank you so much.